With an overview of the data. Yesterday, CDC reported a little over 27,850 new cases of COVID-19. Our 7-day average is about 27,700 cases per day. This represents yet another decrease of more than 19% from the prior 7-day average, and also marks the second day in a row where our 7-day average is less than 30,000 cases per day. The last time the 7-day average of cases per day was this low was June 18th, 2020. The 7-day average of hospital admissions is slightly over 3,400, a decrease of almost 15% from the previous 7-day period, and another positive trend. And the 7-day average of daily deaths has also declined to a new low of 498 per day. At the start of each briefing over the past few weeks, I have shared with you a snapshot of the data, and more recently, the encouraging decreases in cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. As each week passes and as we continue to see progress, these data give me hope. I also know that these snapshots are hard to put into the context after 16 months of reviewing them. In isolation, each data point does not tell the full story of what we are seeing across the country. Today, I'd like to give you a bit of a deeper dive into the data and to share with you ways you can understand the progress your community is making. Each day, CDC, in collaboration with partners across the government, releases a community profile report and updates our county-level data on COVID data tracker. When we look at COVID case incidents at the county level, we see major decreases. As I've mentioned at the start of my remarks, we have seen a 20% decrease in the 7-day average of cases across the country. And we have seen some counties across the country have had an even greater decrease, including decreases of 25% or more in just the past week. Each week, we also see a release of an assessment of county-level transmission risk, taking into account COVID rates and COVID-19 test characteristics. And we have used this transmission risk for many of our CDC guidance materials, for example, our school guidance. Importantly, over the past month, there has been a steady decline in the number of counties in the United States with a high risk of community transmission. And more counties are moving to low or moderate transmission categories. We now have 307 counties, or 10% of the entire US, in which we would characterize having low transmission. And there are 1,183 counties, or 37% of all US counties, in the moderate transmission category, which we define as less than 50 cases per 100,000 in the last 7 days. Now, if you look at this new slide up, I want to show you two maps of our country, one from January and one from this week. CDC uses data on cases and county transmission to help us understand areas across the country where we may have concern for emerging or sustained outbreaks and where things have markedly improved, and also to understand the burden of infection at the local level, because we recognize that these decisions have to be made locally. When we look across the country, our areas of high or moderate burden, indicated by red and pink respectively, are shrinking. And areas with low burden of disease, indicated by light green, are markedly increasing. Many of the areas where previous high and moderate burden are now resolving and are highlighted on blue in this map. The map on the right demonstrates our national landscape, that things are improving, and we are seeing this week after week and with more and more green over time. These data are telling us a story. As more and more people roll up their sleeves and get vaccinated, the number of cases and the level of community risk is decreasing. I want to thank everyone who has done their part to bring us where we are today, with more than 60% of Americans 18 and older having received at least one dose and being on their way to full vaccination, and 126.6 million Americans who are fully vaccinated. The progress in these data are so encouraging to me, and I hope encouraging to you. And I know our work here is not done. We still have many more people to get vaccinated. I encourage everyone who is not yet fully vaccinated to visit vaccine.gov and find a location to get your first or second shot. Thank you. I'll now turn things over to Dr. Fauci.